Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness appointed the offices of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare society and judgment of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance and trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we teach and consider all matters that shall come under deliberations in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our county and of those whose interest you have committed to our church. Amen. Honorable members, in line with our standing orders number 32.2, I want to direct that the quorum bell be rung for the first 5 minutes. I cannot spot the whip or the deputy whip, but I can spot Honorable Adega seated on the seat of the chief whip. Honorable Adega, can you kindly whip the members that may still be outside? Under the same standing order, I want to direct that the quorum bell be rung for a further 5 minutes. Honorable Adega, can you confirm whether we've attained the right quorum to transact?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I can confirm we have a quorum in the House. Thank you.
Clerk, can you take us through the order of
Third Assembly, 5th session, order paper number 391 of today, Tuesday, 17th March 2026 at 2:30 p.m. Order number 1, administration of oath.
next order?
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, we have a guest in the house, and as you can see at the public gallery, we have one Rebecca Adhiambo-Wino, who is a student at the University of Nairobi. She's here to conduct academic research for a political science PhD program on the effect of everyday political performance on accountability management and electoral support. The research is being carried out amongst us. So any one of us willing to participate in the research is free to meet her after the session. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
The Honorable Leader of Majority.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to orders number 41 2C to present and lay on the table of the County Assembly a statement informing the County Assembly of the business coming before the House in the following week. Honorable Speaker, this is therefore to bring to the attention of members and the County Assembly that for the week commencing on Wednesday 18th March 2026 to Tuesday 24th March 2026, the Select Committee on Assembly House Business at its last meeting approved the following tentative businesses to appear in the order papers as follows. On Wednesday 18th March 2026 at 9 a.m., that is tomorrow, papers to be laid. 1, the chairperson of PICPAC Committee, Honorable Kennedy Oko, will table the PICPAC Committee report on the examination, the Auditor's General report on financial statements of Kisumu County Executive for the financial year 2024-2025. Followed by notices of motion. The chairperson of PICPAC Committee, Honorable Kennedy Oko, will give notices of motion for the PICPAC Committee on the examination of the Auditor General's report on financial statements of Kisumu County Executive for the financial year 2024-2025. At commencement of business, the chairperson of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries Committee, Honorable Eunice Alanda, will move a motion for the adoption of the committee, the report of the Joint Committee of Agriculture, Fisheries, Livestock Development and Irrigation and Finance and ICT on the privatization of Muroni, Chemelil and Miwani Sugar Companies. On Wednesday, 18th March 2026 at 2:30 p.m., at commencement of business, the chairperson of PICPAC Committee, Honorable Kennedy Uko, will move a motion for the adoption of the committee report of PICPAC Committee on the examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Kisumu County Receiver of Revenue for the financial year 2024-2025. On Thursday, 19th of March 2026 at 2:30 p.m. at commencement of business, the chairperson of Water, Environment, Natural Resources and Climate Change Committee, Honorable Samuel Dede, will move a motion for the adoption of the committee, the report of Water, Environment, Natural Resources and Climate Change Committee on the matter of pollution of River Oroba and Nyakoko Stream by Keda Ceramics. Then on Tuesday, 24th March 2026 at 2:30 p.m., there will be a notice of motion by Honorable Regina Kisito for the approval of the call for inclusion of techno-facilitated gender-based violence in the review of the Kisumu County SGBV policy, followed by a statement by the leader of majority, pursuant to orders number 41 2C of the standing orders. That is business coming before the County Assembly for the week, commencing on Wednesday, 25th March 2026. So Honorable Regina Kisisto will issue a statement pursuant to the orders number 41 2B on the status of implementation of the Kisumu County CES Act 2024. At commencement of business, the chairperson of finance and ICT, Honorable Karen Odiam, will move a motion for the adoption of the committee, the report of finance and ICT committee consideration in consideration of annual reports and financial statements of Kisumu County Executive for the period ended 30th June 2025. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Next order.
Commencement of business, order number 8, motion, Finance and ICT Committee on consideration of the annual report and financial statements of Kisumu County climate change for the period ended 30th June 2025. By Honorable Karen Odhiambo.
Yes, Honorable Karen.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Honorable Speaker and honorable members, this is a progress report on the review and examination of the Kisumu County climate change annual report and financial statement for the period ended 30th June 2025. Madam Speaker and honorable members, in accordance with Section 167 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, the administrator of a county public fund is mandated to prepare and submit annual financial statements for the Kisumu County Climate Change Fund, which in short, FLOCA, to the County Assembly within 3 months after the end of each financial year. In compliance with this provision, the Chief Officer for Water, Environment, Climate Change, and Natural Resources submitted the annual report and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025. And this you can confirm, you can check Annex 1. These reports were duly tabled in this assembly by the Majority Leader, Honorable Kennedy Oko, on Wednesday, 2nd September 2025, and subsequently committed to the Sectoral Committee on Finance and ICT for consideration. Pursuant to the Kisumu County Assembly Standing Order number 193.5 and the second schedule, the committee has critically analyzed and scrutinized these annual financial statements. Honorable Speaker, these annual reports and financial statements present the budget execution status covering the period from 1st July 2024 and to 30th June 2025. Providing a comparative analysis of actual achievements against the budgeted amounts for the fiscal year 2024-2025. Madam Speaker, I wish to extend our gratitude to your office and the Office of the Clerk for the logistical support provided throughout the committee's meetings. I also commend the members of the committee for their active engagement and invaluable contributions during the discussions. Special thanks goes to the Office of the Fiscal Analyst and the technical staff for their diligent work in interpreting and synthesizing the financial information, offering deeper insights, coordination, planning, and preparation of this comprehensive report. Madam Speaker and honorable members, we have conducted a comprehensive examination of the Kisumu County Climate Change Fund, which is FLOCA in short, annual report and financial statement, made key observations and findings, and provided recommendations for your consideration and adoption. It is now my distinct privilege and honor to present the progress report of the Committee on the consideration of the Kisumu County Climate Change Fund, annual reports and financial statement for the period ended 30th June 2025 for careful consideration and approval. processing of the annual financial statements, you can check the main report, page 6 and 7, as this report was early shared on our official page. Madam Speaker and honorable members, the committee dedicated a considerable time and effort towards the review of the Kisumu County Climate Change Fund annual report and fiscal statement. In executing this mandate, the committee convened a total of 8 meetings during which members deliberated, interrogated, and scrutinized the accounts in detail. Arising from this deliberation, the committee identified several significant concerns which were formally communicated to the County Executive Committee member for Water, Environment, Climate Change, and Natural Resources. By the latest reference is there. Date is 8th September 2025. And you can check Annex 2. Subsequently, an addendum letter, which was dated 16th September 2025, you can check Annex 3, was issued highlighting additional concerns identified during further review. These are some of the responses we got from the department. Following the committee's submissions, the department responded through a letter, and this one is volume 3, which is in page 51, dated 22nd September 2025. Check Annex 4, indicating that the financial statements were already under review by the Office of the Auditor General, and urging the committee to suspend its review process pending the Auditor General's report. The committee, however, responded through a letter which was dated 29th September 2025, and that is Annex 5, rejecting the department's position and reiterating that the existence of the parallel review by another oversight authority does not exempt any county executive entity from its constitutional and statutory obligation to furnish information or respond to queries raised by county assembly and its committees. Accordingly, the committee directed the department to 1, submit without further delay comprehensive responses to additional queries raised on the financial statements, and B, appear before the committee on Monday, 6th October 2025 at 10:30 a.m. within County Assembly precincts, accompanied by the relevant technical officers to provide clarifications and justifications on the outstanding issues. And these were the outcome of the consultative engagement. During the consultative meeting, the responses presented by the CCM for Water, Environment, Climate Change, and Natural Resources were found to be unsatisfactory. Consequently, the committee directed the department to undertake a comprehensive review of the financial statements and submit revised financial statements adequately addressing the concerns raised. To date, the revised financial statements and the promised responses which the department had undertaken to submit within 1 week have not been provided to the committee. This is our observations and findings, plus the recommendations as a committee. Madam Speaker and honorable members, following a comprehensive review and interrogation of the annual financial statements, the committee identified and flagged several critical issues which were subsequently forwarded to the Department of Water, Environment, Climate Change, and Natural Resources for response and clarification. Additionally, the department appeared before the committee to elaborate on their responses. The matrix below outlines the committee's observations, findings, and recommendations concerning the specific issues raised on these annual reports and financial statement. Honorable members, you can check the main report. We have number 1, This was the concern of the committee. We wanted them to reporting period inconsistency. That was our concern. And this is what we observed as a committee. The reporting period for the prior year comparative column under various statements in the document covers 1st April 2023 to 30th June 2024, translating to a reporting period of 1 year and 3 months, whereas the succeeding comparative period covers 1 year running from 1st July 2024 to 30th June 2025. These consistent comparative periods violate IPSAS 1, which requires consistent period disclosure. And under that column, you can see their response we have indicated nil, which means they have not responded. And this is our recommendation as a committee. Fund administrator should provide the correct reporting and comparative period and make necessary amendment on the financial statement. Number 2 is liabilities presentation. And this one you can check page 2. This is what we observed as a committee. Trade and other payable from exchange transaction is reported at Kenya shillings 102,871,487 under current liabilities, but totals for current and overall liabilities are blank. This is what we recommend the administrator to complete the totals and correct the typographical errors. Statement of financial performance contribution and donation. Under this, we observe that the statement of the financial performance reports public contribution and donations totaling to 66,427,000. This one you can check page 1 under note 1 and again page 19. However, note 1 indicates donations from development partners amounting to Kenya shillings 173,335,666 and 0 for public contribution. Under their response, we have also indicated nil, which means they have not responded. And then we recommended as a committee that clarification of this material inconsistency between the main statement and its supporting note. Under cash flow statement versus accrual accounting, while the fund reports project cost of Kenya shillings 214,695,326 as actual payment in the cash flow statement, the existence of trade payable of Kenya shillings 102,871,487 contradicts this. Under accrual accounting, the actual cash payment should be adjusted to reflect only Kenya shillings 111,823,839, i.e. Kenya shillings 214,695,326 less Kenya shillings 102,871,487. This overstatement in the cash flow statement undermines the integrity of cash reporting and result in non-compliance with the IPSAS. And under this, we have also indicated nil as they didn't respond. And as a committee, we recommended that the fund administrator to provide a detailed PPE schedule and apply depreciation in accordance with IPSAS 17 to ensure accurate financial reporting and compliance with accounting standards. Number 5, cash flow statement. You can check page 5 and page 1. Receipts are shown as transfers from county government amounting to Kenya shillings 269,298,487. However, the statement of the financial performance shows county transfers of 100 million and public contribution donation of Kenya shillings 66,427,000. And we recommend that the fund administrator to reconcile and clarify the discrepancy between the cash flow statement and the statement of the financial performance. Number 6, we have related party disclosures. This is, you can check page 37 in the main report. Under this, the note 26 indicates nil related party transactions, despite a transfer of Kenya shillings 100 million from the county government, which constitutes a related party transaction under IPSAS 20. We recommend as a committee that the fund administrator to revise and update the related party disclosure note to reflect the county government transfer and any other related party transactions. Number 7 is under cash and cash equivalents. The reported cash and cash equivalents balance as at 30th June 2025 is Kenya shillings 123,673,784. However, no bank reconciliation statement or bank balance certificate was provided to support this figure. Therefore, we recommend as a committee that the management to provide a bank reconciliation statement or bank balance certificate to support the reported balance. Number 8, property, plant, and equipment. The fund reports the acquisition of PPE worth Kenya shillings 31,968,946, resulting in a closer balance of Kenya shillings 34,118,916. Under this, we recommend as a committee that we have told them to provide a detailed PPE schedule showing items purchased, their location, commissioning status, and linkage to find projects. Additionally, they are supposed to explain why depreciation was not charged and ensure compliance with IPSAS 17. Number 9, project cost of Kenya shillings 214,695,326. This you can check page 1 and note 6. Again, you can check also page 20 for comparison. The total project cost reported in the statement of financial performance is Kenya shillings 214,695,326 as explained under note 6, which is in page 20. However, note 20 classifies the projects as follows: completed and unpaid, Kenya shillings 15,579,500. Awarded and incomplete, Kenya shillings 106,877,256. Awarded and paid, Kenya shillings 92,238,570. We recommend as a committee that the fund administrator to provide a clarification and reconciliation of the project classifications with the reported trade payables. Under budget actual performance, the budget reflects a surplus of Kenya shillings 19,837,470, whereas the accrual-based financial statement indicates a deficit of Kenya shillings 67,322,705. IPSAS 24 requires a reconciliation and explanatory disclosure of such variance. And we recommend as a committee that management provides a reconciliation between the budget and actual figures together with an explanatory analysis of the variance. Under trade payables, we have Kenya shillings 102,871,487. Here, the statement of financial positions, trade payables of Kenya shillings 102,871,487. However, there's no disclosure of 1, the identity of the creditors. 2, the nature of the liabilities. 3, the specific projects or wards to which they relate. And therefore, as a committee, we recommend that management to provide detailed disclosures on the creditors, the nature of liabilities, and the related projects or wards in compliance with IPSAS 30 and PSASB disclosure guidelines. 12, we have fiduciary oversight arrangements. There is a mismatch in the designation or title for the position held by Honorable Elisa Jack Oraro. And therefore, we recommend as a committee that management to correct and amend the designation appropriately for the accuracy and consistency. And under general recommendations, Madam Speaker and honorable members, the committee submits following additional recommendations for consideration by this esteemed House. 1, that this honorable House grants the committee additional 2 weeks to hold consultative engagement with the County Executive Committee member for water, environment, climate change, and natural resources in order to adequately address and conclude on the issues raised in the report. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, I hereby urge the members to adopt this report with the recommendations contained herein. May I call upon Honorable Mildred Ajumbo to second. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Ajumbo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand to support the report. To second, sorry, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I just want to say a few things on the progress report on the climate change, that's FLOCA, for the period ended June 30th, 2025. Madam Speaker, when the chairperson was reading the report, you could tell that there has been a lot of correspondence between the committee and the executive on water and climate change. And a lot of meetings has been done in the past, about 8 meetings, as read by the chair of the committee. And still the committee is not able to come up with a conclusion. The reason why the committee has brought a progress report and pleading with the House to support the report, the progress report, so that the committee can be given more time. Madam Speaker, there's quite a number of observations that were observed by the committee. And I just wanted to highlight, just to mention a few, that the committee had observed that the reporting period of the department was starting 1st April 2023 up to June 2024. That was a mistake, that the committee needed the department to make corrections. And when you look at the response from the CCM, there's no response. You look at another case, quite a number of items here are serious, Madam Speaker. I've just picked on the area of concern, number 7, cash and cash equivalents. The committee has observed that the reported cash as of 30th June 2025 was 123,673,784,000. But when you look at it, there are no bank statements, no reconciliations, no bank balances, no response from the CC member, Madam Speaker. The committee is still wondering if there will ever be a response. That's a very serious concern. You come to the number 9 of the project costs, that the cost of the project was at 214,695,320. That was explained under note 6. But the project completed and was unpaid was 15 million. Awarded was 106. Awarded and paid was 92 million. So the committee, under the observation, it's not there's no accuracy in those figures. When you try to add them, they are not adding up. Yet the response from the CC member of the department is still nil. On item 12, there is the judiciary, the oversight arrangement, sorry. The committee has observed that in their response, there's a mismatch in the designation of the title held by Honorable Jack Elisha Oraro, and the committee is urging the CC to amend the designation. So all these concerns of the committee, Madam Speaker, I just wanted to say that the department has not taken them serious, no response, and in all the items that, the 12 items that were observed by the Committee of Finance, no response from the CCM member. Madam Speaker, I stand to urge the members to please support this progress report so that we can be given time as a committee to complete it. I rest my case, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Ajumbo. Honorable members, the Committee of Finance and ICT presents a progress report on the annual and financial statements of Kisumu County Climate Change for the period ended 30th June 2025. The motion has been moved and seconded. It is time for me to propose a question of debate. But before I do that, allow me remind the honorable members that this report was issued to the committee on the 3rd of September 2025 for a period of 21 days. The due date was 24th September 2025. 6 months down the line, the committee is bringing a progress report, and they are asking the House to give them an extension of 2 weeks for them to complete the report. I don't know. It is upon the House to discuss and see whether the 2 weeks they are requesting for will be sufficient, because they have taken more than 6 months and they've not been able to conclude their report. So, honorable members, it is upon you to debate and grant the wishes or deny the wishes or the prayers of the committee. Another reminder, honorable members, is that we passed a motion here that gives a maximum of 3 hours for discussion of reports from committees. We are giving 20 minutes for the mover and 10 minutes in replying, that is 30 minutes for the mover. A maximum of 5 minutes for any other member speaking except the leader of majority, who shall be limited to a maximum of 15 minutes. And the priority be according to the leader of majority party in that order. So, honorable members, we each have 5 minutes to debate, save for the mover and the leader of majority. And with those reminders, honorable members, I propose that the motion be open for discussion. Yes, Honorable Nyaoke.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to debate on this very important progress report that is before us. Madam Speaker, I want to sincerely thank, I've gone through this report in depth, and I want to thank the Finance Committee. Even though they have not come with a serious conclusion to this matter, Madam Speaker, but I want to thank them for the in-depth analysis and the information that they have brought forth in this report. Madam Speaker, if you look at the forward of the chairperson, she gives us the basis of the responsibility. And in fact, they have mentioned about Section 107 of the PFM Act 2012. Madam Speaker, in this particular report, it should be noted that there was serious violation of the PFM Act, Madam Speaker. I tend to believe that that serious violation of the PFM Act is what has led to this project, this particular report, now being dubbed a progress report, because the completion of it, the reason why we need this particular report is by filling the omitted sections that have not been responded to, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, if you go down the report and you look at the matrix, I would pick, for example, matrix number 1, which the reporting period, the area of concern of the committee, Madam Speaker, was that reporting period inconsistencies. Madam Speaker, there are specifications according to the law on how financial reports are to be done. And I'm certain that the fund manager who is managing this fund must have known what he's supposed to do and his responsibilities in terms of making the reports. Madam Speaker, if you look at those reports, the reporting period, the committee observed that the reporting period for the prior year comparative column under various statements in the documents covers 1st April 2023 to 30th June 2024, translating to a reporting period of 1 year and 3 months, whereas the succeeding comparative period covers 1 year running from 1st July 2024 to 30th June 2025. These inconsistent comparative periods violates IPSAS 1, which requires consistent period disclosure. Madam Speaker, if I put myself into the committee's feet, Madam Speaker, even I would have done the same. Because there are certain issues here that we expect responses from the CCM and overall the whole department, Madam Speaker. I have tried to look at this report to see the reason why the CECM had nil report on such very important observations, Madam Speaker, but we cannot see. It is by approving and by supporting the adoption of this report that is going to demand for the replies and the responses from the CCM regarding these important points, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, if you look at matrix 6, that is related to party disclosures. The note 26 indicate nil related party transaction despite a transfer of 100 million from the county government, which constitutes a related party transaction under IPSAS 20. Madam Speaker, there is no way that a report can say that 100 million was gotten from the county government, and yet the disclosure cannot be certainly be made as per the requirements of the PFM Act.
Honorable Nyaoko, you have less than a minute to conclude. You've consumed your 5 minutes. Kindly summarize.
Madam Speaker, I wish the majority leader could borrow me some two minutes to continue responding to this, because, Madam Speaker, this is the reason why I'm trying to advance the adoption of this report so that we eventually come. But I can summarize, Madam Speaker, with that few remarks. So, Madam Speaker, what I'm trying to put my members to, my fellow colleagues to understand is that by adopting this report, Madam Speaker, even me personally as a member of the implementation committee, I am eagerly waiting for this report. A completed report with these responses so that we can take over even when it comes to implementation, Madam Speaker, to make sure that this particular report is followed to the latter, Madam Speaker. It is for the good of this county that this particularly, I would also request that as they will be preparing the final report, Madam Speaker, let them tell us the recommendations that are going to be subjected to the fund manager of this particular fund, Madam Speaker. Thank you. With that few remarks, I beg to support.
Honorable Nyauke. Honorable members, we are discussing the progress report by Finance and ICT Committee on the annual report and financial statements of Kisumu County climate change for the period ended 30th June 2025. Yes, Honorable Henrietta.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and honorable members. Madam Speaker, I rise to support the statement, the motion, sorry. I don't think, Madam Speaker, that it is the committee's wish that they delay a report for this House. Madam Speaker, the problem is not the committee or committees of this House. The problem is with the CC members, whom sometimes letters are written, but they don't want to respond in good times. So, Madam Speaker, if they don't respond in good time, what is the committee supposed to do? I think what they are supposed to do is to bring for us the report as they have brought. We discuss, we look at it, and then they continue writing letters. And sometimes they'll write letters, and the report will not come back as soon as we want it as a House. So, Madam Speaker, I would concur with my honorable member here, Tom Nyauke, that the report is within its timelines and in good time. Thank you.
Honorable Henrietta, the report is overdue, not within the timelines, but the committee is requesting for 2 more weeks to submit a complete report. That is the discussion on the floor.
That's what exactly what I'm talking about, Madam Speaker. That it is not their wish that they bring for us half-baked report.
Are you granting the 2 weeks that they've requested for, Honorable Henrietta?
Yes, that's
Thank
possible,
you.
Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Henrietta. Thank you. Yes, Honorable Tom Nyauke. Honorable Tom Onditi. Sorry.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thought you and I are coming closer than you and Honorable Nyauke to warrant you use my name as Nyauke's name. Otherwise, nonetheless, thank you, Madam Speaker, for granting me the opportunity. Madam Speaker, listening to the presentation as was being read by the chair and the secondman by Madam Honorable Jumbo, Madam Speaker, allow me first of all to congratulate the committee for being honest, because the report, in their report, they are plain and wild. They have told us what they went through in the many difficult circumstances, and probably that is the reason why they could not bring to this House a concluded report. Mr. Speaker, this committee went through a lot of frustration to produce the little they have brought to us. And I think they were almost about to say that they had a lot of obstacles on their way of preparing this report. And therefore, Madam Speaker, we are left with very few choices. Either to grant them the 2 weeks they have requested for, whether they are going to complete this report within the 2 weeks, given that they have taken 6 months to bring the progress report or not, Madam Speaker, we can only grant them the benefit of doubt. And therefore, in my honest opinion, I will support their request to grant them more time so that if by good God's grace they can complete the report within the 2 weeks, then we will say thank you. Otherwise, Madam Speaker, I beg to support the request to grant the committee 2 more weeks to complete their report. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Onditi. Yes, Honorable Seth Okumu.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to support that we grant the committee the additional time that they are requesting. Madam Speaker, but they have to know that we are doing this against a very difficult situation. Madam Speaker, financial statements should be discussed as soon as possible so that we finish with them before the audit reports are out. When you are discussing a financial statement when the audit report is out, then sometimes it beats logic, because the purpose is to find out where things are going wrong and they be corrected in time. And that's why financial statements should be brought every quarter. As they are being brought, we are supposed to analyze so that in the next quarter, we avoid problems that happened in the previous quarter. But when it's going to take 6 months, the way my brother, the Honorable Tom Onditi has mentioned, for them to bring a report, that it means reports that will be brought on the 3rd quarter, we'll be discussing when the audit reports are already out. So, Madam Speaker, I wanted to agree that we give them 3 weeks, but I wanted to mention to them that it's not easy for us to give them 3 weeks. 2 weeks, I mean, Madam Speaker. We are granting them 2 weeks, but it might not be possible to grant them additional weeks, especially if we are discussing financial statements after the audit reports are out. So we are requesting that they move with speed. The advantage of bringing reports in this House, whether progress or not, is on the recommendations that you have made to the House. If you are writing to a chief officer, to a CEC, to a director, and they have refused to give you responses, your responsibility as a committee is to come and tell the House that we had sought answers for this particular question from a particular CEC, and he has refused to give us response, and this is the recommendation we are getting or we are giving on the said officer, so that this House can adopt. But if we are pestering them, mollycoddling, babysitting them, giving them more time, then it will be a practice on several officers that they can always go free when they are not doing what committees have requested. So as we grant them the 2 weeks, they should also know that they have all the powers to bring a report and recommendations on individual officers without generalizing when they refuse to give responses to committees. Otherwise, thank you, Madam Speaker. I support that we grant them the 2 weeks.
Seth. Yes, Honorable Adega.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Going by the mood of the House, may I call the mover to reply?
Honorable members, Honorable Adega is trying to read your mood, and is in his reading, he is saying that you are satisfied with the debate so far, that whatever has been presented and discussed is satisfactory to the members. And now the mover is required to reply. Any objection? Honorable Karen?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for another opportunity. Madam Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to thank honorable members who rose to debate in support of this report. Honorable Ajumbo rose to second the report, and she also supported the recommendations of the committee. Honorable Nyaoke was also concerned with the duration the report has taken and why the reason why the department has taken too long to respond. Honorable Henrietta also supported this report, and she also agreed that that problem is not with the committee but with the department. Honorable Onditi also supported this report, and she agreed that the committee be given 2 weeks to complete the report. And last but not least, Honorable Seto Kumu also emphasized that this report should not be discussed after the audited report has been discussed in this Honorable House. And that's the way it should be. And Madam Speaker, we have one major problem which cuts across, that is late response from the departments. I want to give you an example of one report. A report is committed to a committee in this Honorable House. The next week, the committee sits and they deliberate on it. They raise issues and the concerns are sent to department. They are given 1 week, they don't respond. We do a reminder, another 1 week, they don't respond. We do a second reminder, another 1 week, they don't respond. We now invite them as the law requires. They don't respond. And finally, we are supposed to summon them. That is more than 1 month. So if we are given 21 days, a report can only be brought to this Honorable House if the relevant department is committed and is ready to comply. Otherwise, we'll take so many months without completing a report. And there are some reports, Honorable Madam Speaker, that has taken more than 2 years due to the same problem. So we need to do something as Assembly. And so I reply. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. And a report, which was a motion on the financial statements of Kisumu County climate change for the period ending 30th June 2025 has been moved, seconded, and discussed. I want to put a question of adoption, but before I do that, honorable members, allow me remind the Honorable House of Standing Order number 129 on the report of progress, that if any member before the conclusion of proceedings of a bill or a report moves to report progress and such motion is carried, the chairperson will leave the chair. No, sorry, this is on bills. Honorable members, our standing order says that you are allowed within the duration that you're given, and in this case it was 21 days for reports, and for statements it is 14 days, that when you don't get response from the respective sectors, then you're supposed to report back your progress and share with the members so that the House can also help you, because committees work on behalf of the larger House. So don't die alone as a chair or as a committee. Let the House help you by sharing your progress with the House early enough so that you can be helped in time. Otherwise, honorable members, I want to appreciate your discussion on this report and granting of additional 2 weeks for the committee to conclude their reports. And I want to put a question, honorable members, that may as many are of the opinion that this report be adopted, say aye. May as many of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. And the motion on the progress report of the Committee on Finance and ICT on their consideration of the annual report and financial statements of Kisumu County climate change for the period ended 30th June 2025 has been adopted today, 17th March 2026 at 15:39 hours. And honorable members, this means that the committee has 2 weeks to report back to the House. Otherwise, the report stands adopted. Next order.
Madam Speaker and honorable members, there is no any other business to be transacted on the order paper.
Honorable members, there being no any other business, the House stands adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, 18th March 2026 at 8:30 at 9 a.m.